Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to our lesson, that is why do we fall in. See, in my previous topic I had explained you there are some factors which are responsible for the diseases. Those factors are extrinsic factors and intrinsic factors. Extrinsic factors means the factors which we are getting from outside. These outside reasons are therefore to have diseases, as well as extrinsic factor. So here I am talking about the extrinsic factor, means external factors which are responsible to have a disease. Okay, so there are mainly two kinds of diseases. Those are congenital disease and acquired disease. So congenital disease means what? The diseases are caused due to the heredity. Okay, hereditary disease also we can say, means these diseases are from our foreparents or from our grandparents to our further generation. These diseases are called as a hereditary diseases. Not only diseases, various factors are responsible for it. So congenital disease means what? Which are carrying from our previous generation to the next generation. Here we are not going to talk most about this congenital disease. So congenital disease, you keep in mind, means the diseases which are carrying from previous generation to the next generation, okay, through sexual reproduction. So this is congenital disease. And next is acquired disease. Acquired disease means during the lifetime these diseases are getting. These diseases cannot be transferred from one generation to the next generation through genes. Okay, so such diseases are called as acquired diseases. So there are two kinds of acquired diseases, students, that are communicable or contagious disease, or it is also called as a infectious disease. Means these disease are because of the communication, because of the highly communicable disease. We are just now going from the pandemic COVID-19 situation, that is highly communicable disease. Understood? So communicable disease means what? Whenever the two peoples are comes in the contact, physical contact with each other, or in a simple contact, whenever they are coming to each other, such diseases are called. Such diseases are also called as a contagious disease or infectious disease. This is an infection I have caused. Cold and fever infection we are getting from, because this is virally infected disease. So this is caused due to the communicable disease. Okay, and the second type is non-communicable or non-infectious disease. Okay, these diseases are not caused due to the any kind of infection. So here in today's topic I am going to just explain you about infectious disease. So this infection is caused due to the various types of microorganisms. Today students, I have explained you in my last topic which microorganisms are responsible for the diseases. So here in detail we are going to talk about every microorganism and what kind of diseases they are taking place. So we will start with our infectious diseases. Various infectious diseases are caused due to the microorganisms. Students, in class 8th you had a lesson microorganism. In that lesson you have seen various kinds of microorganisms such as bacteria, virus, then protozoa, as well as protozoa, then fungi, algae. This kind of microorganisms we have seen. So how these microorganisms are responsible for the diseases, we will see. Whenever the microorganisms are responsible for any kind of diseases, such microorganisms are called as a pathogens. Okay, the microorganisms which are responsible for the diseases are called as a pathogen, and it is checked. Pathogens are checked into the pathology. Okay, and the person who is doing that work, that is called as a pathologist. So do you understand, students? Whenever you are not feeling well for many times, means after giving various doses, then too if you are not feeling well, then that the samples of your blood and urine is given into the pathology for further research, whether you are suffering from what kind of microorganisms. So the microorganisms which are responsible for diseases is called as a pathogens. Keep in mind, pathogens means the harmful microorganisms which cause disease. So we will talk about some viral infectious disease. See students, common cold and cough. Whenever the season or the climate changes, we mostly suffer from this common cold and cough. Various there are some symptoms of the common cold, and there are some problems occurs during common cold, that is nausea of food. We are unable to eat food properly, we are unable to taste the food properly, This disease is caused due to the virus, okay, common cold and cough. And what happens, the loss of appetite occurs, means we are unable to eat our food, we don't get a proper taste, then running nose occurs, running nose, then chills we are getting, then we are getting fever also during that particular common cold and cough. So here are some symptoms of these diseases that that I said you. Extreme headache also can occur, then loss of appetite. Appetite means the willingness of to have food, that is called as appetite. So this is also getting loose during this common cold and cough. Running nose can occur and the fever also can occur. So these are some major things taking place during the common cold and cough, and this is viral infected disease. Okay, next is influenza. Simply we say for it flu. So for flu and cough and cold, all symptoms are same, like loss of appetite, then nausea for the food, means we don't like to eat food, as well as the chills we are getting, as well as fever getting. So these things are same like common cold and the influenza. In short we say flu, or which lasts for only 2 to 3 days. This is one kind of acute disease. Means students, virally infected disease may be acute and may be chronic too. It's not necessary that viral infected disease will be always acute. No, viral infected disease can be acute and can be chronic too. Then next is dengue fever. Dengue fever, students, do you know the larvae of the mosquito is in the water actually. So we should not allow the water to stagnate nearby our home. Okay, stagnant water means what? We must not allow to accumulate the water into our surrounding or in our environment. Because of this, what can happen? The larvae of the mosquito can be accumulated in it, and these mosquitoes are responsible. These mosquitoes are responsible for the carrier. Means these mosquitoes are working as a carrier for the dengue disease. Means these are carrying this dengue virus, and whenever these mosquitoes are biting us, they are carrying the virus and entering, this virus is entering into our blood, and we can cause dengue. So dengue, the first symptom of dengue is we can cause a skin rash. We are getting skin rashes. This is the major symptom of the dengue virus. Means skin rashes are getting, as well as other symptoms are same. We are getting extreme fever, then chills we are getting, as well as loss of appetite occurs. So such kind of symptoms occurs during dengue. So we should not allow to stagnant dirty water, not even clean water. We have nowadays coolers and all, so we must not keep for long the water which is kept into the cooler. Time to time we have to clean the cooler from inside, and we have to change the water, otherwise larvae of the mosquitoes can accumulate, and if the larvae would get accumulate, means the eggs of the mosquitoes, then the growth of the mosquitoes will be more, and this can be a good carrier for this dengue virus. Okay, so here the third disease which is infectious caused by the virus, that is dengue. Then poliomyelitis, the proper name of it is poliomyelitis. This disease is actually enter into the body through the fecal matter. Students, stool, the human stool or the human excreta is called as a fecal matter, and this fecal matter contains this virus. And whenever the people who are going for this process, means to pass their this stool, they are going outside, and whenever that stool is mixing with the water, and if such water is getting used by the particular person, then person may suffer from the polio. What happens into the polio? Weakness of the limbs occurs. Okay, muscles are getting very weak, and the person is unable to roam anywhere, and person is unable to move, and person is always bedridden into this disease, or can move with, but at very less strength the person can move. So poliomyelitis is the disease. Still we haven't get the medicine over it, or we don't have a proper treatment for the poliomyelitis. Then how during you might have seen one ad into the television, that is Do Boon Zindagi Ke, which is performed by Amitabh Bachchan. So that ad means what? Ki at least if you don't have a proper treatment, then we can, through immunization, means through vaccination, we can reduce the chances of to get polio. So from 1st to 5th, means till 5 years, the children or the babies who are of 5 years old, till 5 years old, this campaign is launched by the government, and the small children or small kids were given this 2 drops of this polio vaccination. So after getting this vaccination, the that because vaccination is what we will learn in our further topic. Vaccination is also one interesting topic to learn. So vaccination means what? The organisms, microorganisms, which are means viruses, which are not strengthy. Those viruses are injected into the person's body, and what happens? Our WBCs are fighting against those viruses, and as these are half dead or half killed microorganisms are sent into our body, then what happens? Always the white blood cells are winner in this war between that virus and the half dead virus and the are WBCs. And so that what happens, the WBCs are getting acquainted with such kind of virus, and all, if in future if such kind of disease we are suffering from, then WBCs are having practice to fight against it, and the person can be well, because there is no proper treatment for poliomyelitis. And so that government has launched this campaign to free India from the poliomyelitis. So nowadays people are not suffering from this, and 1st to 5 age of children is given this vaccine. Okay. So this is related to the AIDS. We are going to talk in detail about AIDS in our further topic. But then too, I would like to know you, this disease is caused due to the retrovirus. And the full name of this disease is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, and it's caused due to the retrovirus called as a HIV. Human immune virus is called for it. Okay. About this we will talk. It is highly communicable, and this disease is called as a unsafe sexual contact. Later on, smallpox. And the disease smallpox. And one more important thing about AIDS is there is no proper treatment for AIDS. We can reduce the symptoms of the AIDS, but there is no proper treatment for the AIDS. Okay, so here polio and AIDS, there is no treatment. Later on, smallpox. Smallpox is also having one kind of disease, and during this also high fever is caused, chills are occurring. So the smallpox disease, the symptom of this is a skin rash. Skin rashes are called due to the smallpox. So here are some diseases which are viral infected diseases. Now we will go for the bacterial infected diseases. Now students, we will talk about next type of disease, that is infectious disease, which is caused due to the bacteria. So bacteria also comes into the pathogens. There are some harmful diseases can cause to our body due to bacteria. So what are those diseases? We will see. Cholera. Cholera means extreme kind of diarrhea. Extreme kind of diarrhea means what happens? Watery. The person is passing watery stool. The person is passing watery stool. Watery stool the person is passing. What happens in it, students? The excreta is passes along with the water, and so that what happens? Diarrhea plus dehydration. You can keep in mind to this: diarrhea plus dehydration. If the water means the stool is passed, watery stool is passed, means the stool is passed, along with that the body from the water is also passed, and so that what happens? The dehydration occurs, and the person becomes very, very weak. Immediately weight loss can occur during this, because the water from the body has completely excavated from the body. So diarrhea plus dehydration is a symptom of the cholera, means extreme amount of diarrhea is caused into the cholera, and this is caused due to the bacteria. Then second one is typhoid. Okay, typhoid is also caused due to the bacteria. This typhoid is in this typhoid means what are the symptoms of the typhoid? Extreme fever and extreme chills are getting occur due to the typhoid. Okay, and this disease is also caused due to the bacteria. Then further, tuberculosis. Here in tuberculosis, lungs are affected. Tuberculosis lungs are affected, and extreme amount of cough is occurring. Means whooping cough, like whooping cough you are knowing. Whooping cough also caused due to the bacteria only. The whooping kind of cough is occurs, And what happens during that? This much cough occurs in that sometimes the blood also come out through the cough. So cough occurs. Then tuberculosis is a long run. It's a chronic disease, and there is a proper treatment to the government of the tuberculosis occur, and this treatment is given at very less amount. Means if the person is suffering from the tuberculosis, the lungs are getting affected, then the person can get even free of cost treatment also into the government hospitals. So if it is checked, if it is ignored, then it can be fatal too. But if it is ignored, then it can be fatal, means life threatening. The person can get its death during tuberculosis. But if it will be treated properly, into the government hospitals, because government hospitals are having proper kind of medications, proper treatments are there, which is searched everywhere, and so that tuberculosis can be completely cured. Okay, so tuberculosis disease is also caused due to the bacteria. But if it is ignored, then it will be life threatening. Keep in mind. Later on, tetanus. See, whenever we are getting any wound because of any iron particles, okay, especially iron corroded or rusted iron particles, if we are getting any wound, okay, then this disease can be treated by the injection, or this disease also is caused due to the bacteria. So tetanus, TT, in short we say TT, and whenever we are getting any wound because of the iron particles, then immediately we go to the doctor and we are taking injection against the tetanus. So tetanus is also bacterial infectious disease. Later on, pneumonia, students. Pneumonia, in the pneumonia also lungs are getting affected, and the person is getting the breathing problem, and extreme cough and cold is occurring due to the pneumonia. High fever, chills, all the symptoms like common cold and but extreme amount of fever is getting occurred into the pneumonia, and the most infected part of our body is lungs. So in a tuberculosis, lungs are only affected, and to the pneumonia also lungs are only affected. So these are some diseases. Here whooping cough also can come, then various other diseases also can come, but here I would like to know you this basic diseases which can be affected because of the bacteria. So here are some diseases. Now we'll go for ahead. Now next type of diseases which is caused due to the another important pathogen, that is called as a fungi. All kinds of fungi are not good for the health. Some are bad for the health, or some are harmful for the health, and such fungi are called as the pathogens. So here some skin diseases are called. See, in the rainy season, whenever we are wearing wet clothes, we are getting irritation over there, right? In a particular in our arms or undergarments, whenever we are using, which are wet, we may suffer from the fungal infection. The very well-known fungal infection is a ringworm. Means we are causing some ring-like structure on our skin. Rashes are occurring in the form of ring. So that is called as a ringworm, and this skin disease is called due to the fungi. See, students, whenever we are suffering from the dandruff on our scalp, there is a dandruff. So that dandruff is also one kind of a fungal infection only. So time to time we have to clean our scalp with the proper shampoo and proper conditioner. So skin diseases are caused due to the fungi, and ringworm is a common example for it. Okay, itching also can occur, as well as irritation occurs. Okay, then second is food poisoning. Whenever we eat stale food, then uncovered food, whenever we eat, some kind of fungi may enter into that, because in our surrounding a lot amount of the spores are present, students. This is one important category of the microorganisms. Spores are in a large amount. See, if you will forget to the food, if we have kept into your tiffin box and you forget to carry your tiffin bag, and after 2-3 days if you will try to open, you will see a cottony growth on that food, and that cottony growth is what? Fungi. So after 2-3 days this effect we can see, but immediately after 2 to 2 days if you will eat such food which is actually stale or which is infected, then the person or mostly children can suffer from the food poisoning. Okay, in this food poisoning what happens? Extreme stomach ache occurs. Okay, vomiting occurs. Vomiting occurs, as well as diarrhea also can cause due to the food poisoning. So these are some symptoms of the food poisoning. So we will now go for the next type of disease. The next type of pathogen is worm. Worm is actually not included into the pathogen, but we are suffering from diseases, means infectious diseases may be caused due to the worms. So very well known example, that is elephantiasis. Elephantiasis is caused due to the worm. And hatti pai we say in Marathi, means the leg or the limbs become like a elephant foot. So this disease is also called as elephant foot ribbon. Means the limbs are being like an elephant. So this disease is caused due to the worms. Filarial worm is responsible for it. Okay, filarial worm are responsible for the elephantiasis. And the next very well known example for us is that worms. That worms are Ascaris types of worms are remaining in our small intestine. These are sticking in our small intestine. These are called as the parasites, because what they are doing, whatever food we eat, that food is directly taken, that nutrient, because the food is getting converted into the nutrients, and that nutrients are directly taken by this worm. Okay, and mostly the eggs or the larvae of these worms are present into the soil. So whenever we are working into the soil, we have to clean our hand properly with the soap. Then otherwise what will happen, whenever we will eat food, then the eggs and the larvae would enter in our stomach, and here that will be the good place to leave them for the worms, and person may suffer from the disease like food poisoning also. Food poisoning, no exactly, but stomach ache can occur for the students especially. So this disease is also caused due to the worm. Now next is protozoa, that I shall discuss in my tomorrow's topic, which is also coming from the infectious diseases category. Thank you very much.